I'm Shelly with Shelly's Beauty Studio, and today we're filming a series of videos on Jamberry nail wraps. I wanted to show you a few different tutorials on how to be the most efficient in applying your Jamberry nail wraps while keeping it very easy and simple. So I'm going to teach you all the little tricks that you need to know for all different kinds of nail types. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do Jamberry nail wraps for very curved nails or very dome-shaped nails. So really curved is, just some people's nails are very flat. So myself, I actually have the very dome-shaped nails. I'm not sure if the camera can actually see that or if you can, it's seen from here like this. It's very curved. From the front, you can't really tell too much. So I didn't even know I had such dome-shaped nails. And my most dome-shaped nail I have is actually this one, which gives me so much gave me such a hard time to put on the jams in the beginning. But now I figured it out and I'm gonna show you how to do it really well. My pinkies aren't as dome-shaped, but yeah, you could just see the curvature of the nails. Now, you kind of sometimes might not know if you have dome or not until you actually put on a nail wrap, but if you start seeing it lift or crackle along the side of your nail, then it's very highly likely, like on these parts, if it starts to buckle in a couple days, then it's very likely you do have dome-shaped nails. I'm going to show you how to do it on this one because this one is my toughest nail, so that way you'll know exactly how to do it in the most perfect way and also time-saving way. So I don't want anyone to be intimidated or anything by doing the Jamberry nail wraps because it's such a fun thing and they have over 300 designs and they last 2 weeks. So they're like my favorite thing right now. So this is 70% isopropyl alcohol. You want to make sure this is your nail is wiped down with a lint-free pad, or I just use a paper towel most of the time, as long as it's lint-free so there's nothing floating around. And the cuticle remover has to have been used earlier. So some people actually are very lucky and they don't have cuticles to remove, and some people do, but I wouldn't actually remove, if you have crazy skin here, I wouldn't remove too much of that. I would actually just remove the invisible cuticle because you don't want to by accident damage your regular cuticle or cut yourself or anything weird like that. So your invisible cuticle is right here. It's actually on the edge of your nail, as close to your cuticle as you would think it is, and it's just that little layer of dead skin that's attached to your nail. So you would actually put your cuticle remover just along the edges there, and you would take your orange stick and just push back. So I've already done that step just to speed things along with the video, but that's how you would do that. Rinse off and then do the isopropyl alcohol part, and then you're ready to do your jam. Now with my jams, oh yeah, I forgot. Duh. Okay, so I'm going to take a buffer block. So you can use a Jamberry one or an orange one. I have both. Just because, I don't know, they're kind of different grits. You can see which one works best for your nails. This is from the Jamberry application kit. You just want to buff your nail a little bit just to make sure if you have any ridges there, you want to make sure all the ridges are gone and that your nail is nicely buffed. And that way the Jamberry can adhere most properly that way. So again, I'm just going to isopropyl alcohol it again just because I just buffed it, and then there's going to be little pieces of nail dust. Now with your nail wraps, you want to pick out the size that fits your nail the most. If you're going to go for safe versus perfect, choose a nail wrap that is slightly smaller than your nail. So if you had a choice of choosing something smaller or larger, go with smaller, because if it's larger and it overhangs on the rest of your hand, it won't stick and it's gonna lift really quickly. Now, if it's a really large wrap, or the next largest wrap that's a little bit larger, you would actually just trim it with cuticle scissors. You can trim it freehand, or you can cut it with another trimming method I'm going to show you with Scotch tape in the next episode, okay? So pick the size that fits you the most. So I'm going to go measure right now. Did you hear that? Oh, my tummy is rumbling. Okay, so my closest size to this nail is this wrap. So my nails are short, so I'm just going to cut 1/3 of the wrap. So that's about 1/3 here. That is enough for one finger. That 1/3 is enough for the other finger. So the middle, you can actually save it for your toes. So each wrap set actually lasts a long time. So I've cut this out. Now this is the important part for the dome-shaped nails, okay? You're gonna take your trusty manicure scissors, and you have to do this part with these little manicure scissors. If you don't get these from the Jamberry application kit, like because you didn't want to get the kit, that's okay. Just buy these from your local drugstore. They're not too expensive, and this snippet part takes just a little bit of skill, and it'll be perfect. So what you're gonna do is you just take the tip of your scissors, ever so slightly, you're gonna cut little slits, but they're only 1 millimeter or 1/2 millimeter, okay? So you're gonna be very careful to cut along the side here. So I'm gonna do one right here at the curvature point and 1 millimeter snippet. And then you're gonna do anywhere from 3 to 4 down the side like that, okay? And that's so it helps to bend around your nail better when you're actually putting it on the dome nail. And again on the other side. So these are literally 1/2 millimeter, I would say, 1/2 millimeter to 1 millimeter. So it's like kind of barely there slits. And when the jam is on, you will actually not see it on at all, and the adhesive won't ooze out or anything. So don't worry, it actually seals very nicely. So now that that's on, I'm gonna take my little orange wood stick here, just hold it by the edge a little bit and heat it up. So the nail wraps, they all require a different amount of heat. This one is a metallic wrap, so it will require a little bit more heat. But if you want to do it the cold method, you can do it the cold method too. You can do like 5 to 10 seconds of heat or just apply it cold. Right now, because I was talking a little bit and I didn't heat it too long, it's pretty much cold. So I'm going to show you how to apply this with a cold method, and this is cold already. See how you can tell it's cold because it's so thick and it's not floppy and kind of pliable. And I always heat it up with a backing on, so that way the wrap doesn't get all scrunched up, because sometimes that would happen with a metallic wrap, especially a metallic wrap. So now you want to align the middle of this wrap to the middle of your cuticle. And place it gently down. If the wrap was cold, it's very easily removable, so that way you can readjust it if you need. I'm just gonna gently tap it down and have a look to see if that's in the position I would like it to be in. So I think I'm off by 1 millimeter, so let me remove this so you can see. You remove it off, it doesn't damage your nails or your wraps, and you test it again. Gently put it down a little bit to see if that's the right spot, and if it is, then you're done. So I found the right spot. So what you want to do now is take your hand and press it down. See how that just buckled up a bit? You just got to pull it to the side a little bit, and it evens out that little buckle. And this is down, down, down. You can take your cuticle pusher stick. That's from the Jamberry application kit. But if you don't want to use this one, and well, this one you're just applying pressure like this, but if you don't want to use this one, it's actually, you could just press it with your hands as well. That's another way. And with this one, these sticks, sometimes are known as eyebrow waxing sticks. You can find these anywhere too. You just want to kind of press along the edges just to make sure all the edges are laying flat on your nail bed. And that way, once we actually start to apply heat, it will seal perfectly and properly for you. You want to make sure everything's in the right position. And even though that we did the little slits, as you saw earlier, you don't see them already right now. And then when it's heat sealed, you even don't see them even more. So they're really invisible. Now that that's done, you want to pull your wrap over your nail edge a little bit, give it a little mini tug. Not too hard that you're gonna, like rip the wrap, but just a little mini tug, make sure it's very secure. Trim off the excess. And once it's cooled off, it's actually really easy to trim. So now I'm gonna add more heat. I'm gonna turn on my Jamberry heater. With this, you can actually also use a blow dryer for your hair. I'm gonna take my plastic baggie. This will give it even more heat because I'm kind of holding extra heat in with the plastic bag. And also, do you see I'm yanking it a little bit to give it a tighter hold to make sure the wrap seals well when I'm applying it to heat. So you just keep holding it like that for about 5 seconds. Everyone's tolerance will be different to the heat. So if it's too hot for you in 2 seconds, then obviously take it off, right? You don't want to burn yourself. That's the last thing we want to do because this is a fun thing, not a painful thing. But some people actually don't feel the heat for some reason, and they can hold it there for a full 10 seconds. So if it gets too hot, pull your finger away a little bit or just take it off completely. So now this is perfectly heat sealed. If you want to add a little bit more pressure with a rice bag, a heated up rice bag from the microwave, you can. The little rices in there can actually just help kind of push down the sides a little bit if you want. This is for those that need extra security. Not everyone needs this additional step, but because of my job, you all know I do makeup and aesthetics and run around, and I'm a germaphobe, so I wash my hands a billion times a day and wear lots of gloves, and I put my hands through a wringer every day, so I do need that extra security, so I just kind of push it a little bit with a rice bag as well. Now that this is done, you want to file away the excess, so take your emery board or the Jamberry one. The Jamberry one is a very coarse grit, so you'll notice that it'll get rid of the leftover edges really quickly. So with this, just file in a 90-degree angle. Just get off the excess first before we actually do any fine tuning. And then any of the flopping nail wrap, see here, just take it off. And just rip it off if you want. But only if it's already hanging, right? You don't want to rip it if it wasn't hanging, otherwise you would ruin your wrap. So now that the excess is gone from the trimming, now you want to file it in a 45-degree angle, this way. So that way your nail wrap is not like gonna hang over your nail at all in any way. So 45-degree angle, we're gonna smooth it out like that to make sure it doesn't get caught on your clothes or anything else. Now that the 45-degree angle is done, if you see a tiny bit of your nail showing, that's okay. It doesn't show to anyone else except for your own eye, because we did it at a 45-degree angle. So this is perfect, and then you just need to buff. So take your trusty Jamberry buffer block or whatever else you have. That's a low grit. So this one has to be a very low grit. This is high grit and very coarse grit, and this one, sorry, this is a coarse grit and this is a fine grit. I shouldn't say high or low. I'm getting them mixed up. So this is a fine grit, just to smooth it out. And ta-da, all done. So now your Jamberry is on very securely. It will last you up to 2 weeks. I always like to test just to make sure, because if you touch it like this, you can't really feel if you have any rough edges that might get caught on things when you touch it. So just rub it over your clothes or like a towel. I like to check on my clothes, or you know, clothes that you know that they have that material where things get caught, kind of like pantyhose like material. I wouldn't do it on your pantyhose though, just in case. You don't want to put a runner in it. But yeah, that's it. So that's how you do dome-shaped nails. I really hope you enjoyed this episode and found it very informative. I'm gonna film the next one now on how to trim a larger wrap, so I hope you can join me there as well and watch the next video too. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe and share to my channel for lots of beauty tips and tutorials.